true story for those people that need a true story. So this is a story of a little boy. Any mums in the room? Any dads in the room? Anyone that, brothers, sisters, anyone that knows a little kid? Used to be a little kid? Right. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the story, but I'll also quickly unpack it so you know the reason why, right? Think about the pivotal moments we've been talking about. Think about how I'm trying to connect the whole room. So I'm going with a story to finish that gets everyone involved. If you're a mum, a dad, a kid, a grandma, if you've ever been a 6-year-old, you're going to be hopefully in the story, right? So I'm unpacking, now I'm going to tell the story. Okay. So I want to tell you a story about a little boy, a little 6-year-old. And what is particularly unique about this little boy, his name is Bart, was that he had this amazing ability to walk on his hands. He could walk on his hands, as in walk on his hands, just as well as he could walk on his feet, on his 2 feet. I would, of course, demonstrate it to you, but I'm wearing a frock, so that might not be appropriate. Okay. He had this unique ability to walk on his hands. And what used to happen was at parties, his dad would say, "Come on, Bart, show everyone how you do that walk on your hands thing. You walk up and down the stairs and down the stairs." And, but you can imagine back in 1975, true story, when he was walking on his hands, walking into school, he got into a bit of trouble. Because back in 1975, it was about, you know, sitting in rows and not being seen or heard and doing what you're told to do. There was no sort of room in the curriculum back then for creative walking. It was always about creative writing and things like that. Anyway, so he came home from school one time and was really upset because he'd been called to the principal's office. And his mum said, "Come on, Bart." He's American, so she probably wouldn't say, "Come on, matey," but anyway. She said, "Come on, mate, jump in the car and we'll go for a drive." So she put the little boy in the car and she took him, drove him down the street, and she took him to a gymnasium. And Bart talks about it now in his presentations, that when he, as a 6-year-old, walked into this gymnasium, he described the feeling as being intoxicating. He saw the ropes, he saw the parallel bars, he saw the mats and the pommel horses and all the mats. Most importantly, he saw all these other children doing tumbling acts and on the rings and climbing ropes. He saw all these other children doing exactly what he was doing, walking on their hands, etc. Intoxicating was the feeling. And he showed a natural talent for this. Interestingly, when he got to the college system, his coach said, "Bart does not have the physique to be a gymnast." Actually, he doesn't have the physique to be a gymnast. However, what he doesn't have in physique, he makes up for with tenacity, passion, enthusiasm, and the type of hard work required to be an Olympic athlete. And he was 14 at the time. And the question I have for you, and actually, Bart did go on. He went on through the college system. He became America's greatest ever male gymnast. And he won gold in the 1984 Montreal Olympics on the parallel bars. He does a move, actually, on the bars, and he does a 360, and then he ends up standing on his hands. And that was used to be called the Bart Connor, still is, that type of move. One time when he did that move, he did the 360, from there he did a dismount and he landed like this, on the ground, head first, smashed his shoulder. So this is a man who has seen some really tough times and gotten over tough times to become America's greatest athlete. My question for you is, and this is what we'll leave on now, my question for you is, what if his mama had said to him, "Bart, for God's sake," sorry about the references, "Bart, for God's sake, get down on your hands, walk properly." What if when he walked into those parties with his dad, he said, "Bart, I've told you before, get back to your room"? What if the gym instructor had said, "You know, Mrs. Connor, Bart doesn't really have the physique to be a gymnast. I suggest you take him and go and play tennis." So today, in everything that we've been doing, we've been talking about building stories. And you might remember at the beginning, for me, building stories is all about when I'm in a training session, whenever I'm doing a presentation, whatever I'm doing, I'm focused on what Bart's mum was focused on. Seeing this little one and bringing out his potential and bringing out his best. And that, I think, as ourselves and as leaders and as people who do awesome, great things in the workplace, that's what we're all about. So I encourage you to take your story and go out there and do it.